Hey guys, Beth from Ozark Prepsteaders here. All right, this is another in my real estate video series. And I just want to answer some questions. That's all I'm going to do in this video. I've been talking to a bunch of buyers. Yesterday I had buyer phone appointments scheduled from 9:30 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon with one seller mixed in there. I had them scheduled 30 minutes apart. I am talking to so many people, and I just got to say this. I know I've said this a bunch. I got to say it one more time. I am so freaking excited at the caliber, quality, diversity of people that the Lord is sending to the Ozarks. Like, it's freaking amazing. So many people just being called here, and they're freaking awesome people with incredibly diverse backgrounds. Like, yeah, we could, start our own little country with the very cool different types of folks the Lord is sending to this area. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so here's a couple of things that are popping up when I am talking to all the folks who are thinking about moving here. Get a lot of questions on a diversity of topics. One thing that keeps coming up over and over is I can tell from the moment we start talking with about 80% of the folks how freaking stressed out y'all are, okay? I promise you, when you get out of the Babylon you are in, wherever that may be, and you get to the safe haven of the Ozarks here, you are gonna feel a whole lot better. It is amazing. I've told this story many times. We were here about 2 weeks when we realized, oh, we were a lot more stressed than we thought we were. And we were here about 2 months when we realized, when it really truly hit us, how different it was, how greatly our lives were improving, and the huge amount of stress that we had been carrying was just gone. And keep in mind, we hadn't even found a house yet. Like, we were here 2 months before we even found this rental that we're in, because it was tough. So that's kind of leads me to what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so one is almost everybody I'm talking to is disillusioned because you're realizing that your money is not going to go as far as you thought it was with regards to purchase. I've talked to 3 different people yesterday who said, we started thinking about buying about a year ago and we wish we would have done it then. Yep. Yeah, for reals. But that's water under the bridge, and stressing out about it and, letting it weigh on you is not going to do any good. So here's what you need to do. You need to focus on what now. And in most cases, if you all could just lower your expectations a little bit so that you can get here or wherever you're going. I've talked to folks who are looking at Idaho. I've talked to folks who are looking at Tennessee. Like, everybody seems to have a second option, but just lots of folks feel like they're being called here. But, get to where you're going, get in something so you are in the market, and then go from there. If you can at all do it, if you are handy at all, buy something at the bottom that can be fixed up and just work your way up. Because yeah, I'm sorry, but you're not gonna find 10 acres with live water and outbuildings with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in great condition with a well and septic close to town for $150,000. Like, it's just, I can't work a miracle. And that's what it would be at this point. A year ago, you could have found it for $80,000. But we're not there, we're here. That was then and this is now. So just, I know it's hard. I know it's a shock to a lot of folks. There are places that are still cheaper than here. I think you could probably find cheaper land like in Alabama. There's probably some parts of Mississippi. You could probably find cheaper land here in Arkansas down in the Southwest. way down there in the mountains. There are no, real big towns down there for the most part. So you're going to have to be able to be self-employed and make a living and all that good stuff. But there are cheaper spots. Like, it doesn't have to be here. And if that's your number one concern, that you get a full-on, all-in homestead that's top of the line right now for your budget, and your budget's not going to do it here, and you're unwilling to lower or adjust your expectations, then you got to find someplace else to go. I don't think every place offers the same things we have here. I think this is a prime area of the country, the Ozarks in general, not just right here where I am. But you do have options. Here's another thing that I've talked to y'all about before, and I'm going to have to keep talking about it because I keep getting the same questions over and over and over. No, it is not cheaper to buy raw land and try and get yourself all set up unless you truly are going to live completely off grid. And even then, I don't know, because I don't know, like if you want to do solar, I've had a bunch of people say, well, I'll do solar. I don't think solar's that much cheaper than electric, to be honest. So, I mean, as far as cost saving goes, if I had to choose between the two, what would I do? Of course, I would try and do solar because, then you're not reliant on the grid. But, it's not cheap. It costs a lot of money to put infrastructure in. A lot. And lumber prices are skyrocketing. Like a board that we used to pay $2 for, we're paying $7 for. And it's just going to keep going up. And that kind of is the case with all building materials. Here's another thing. If you're coming from a more urban area, we do not have the same options here for building materials. We have like one granite yard in town and it's uber expensive. What I could get for $500 in Vegas cost me $2,500 here. So it is extremely expensive to build. If you want to try and do things on the cheap, the best way to go is try and buy a piece of property that already has some infrastructure in it and, put a mobile on it. That's the other thing. I hear a lot of folks say to me, I don't want a mobile. They don't hold their value. They don't hold up, all this stuff. Okay, well, here's the issue, folks. Arkansas and southern Missouri, these areas of the country, are extremely poor countries from a financial area of the country from a financial standpoint. Poverty levels are high here. I would say the majority of homes that are on land that are affordable are mobiles. I've seen mobiles here that were built in the 70s and people are still living in them. So I don't know about this whole they don't hold up thing. If you take care of them, I think they do hold up. Mobile homes today are not what they were 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. You can get some really nice manufactured and mobile homes. And if you built the equivalent stick built, you can get a mobile for $70,000 that would cost you $250,000 to build it from the ground up. So, I mean, they just make sense in a lot of regards. So if you can find a piece of property, maybe 2 acres, that has an old home site on it, and so it already has electric and well and septic and your road, and you can clear it and put a mobile on, that's a good option. And I've got people just totally turning their noses up at it. Like, no, I won't do it. Well, okay, then that's fine. Totally fine. I'm not saying that. Like, you have a right to get what you want and to live in what you want. I'm just saying if you cut that out as an option, you have just cut your pool of available homes just about in half. Because there just are a lot of mobiles here. And if you would consider a mobile for an option, it's going to be a lot more affordable if you want to go the land route. Like I said, if you can find something that already has some infrastructure in it and just, you know, put a manufactured home on it. I had the same question by a couple of people, and I think it's because everybody heard that we just had that big storm. I had a couple of people say to me, I don't want to live too far out of town because what happens whenever the roads get bad and I can't make it to work? And I had to laugh. Whenever the roads get bad and you can't make it to work, you don't go to work. Because we're in rural America here. You're not in the big city where like somebody is cracking a whip on you and, you know, you call in and you say, hey, I can't get to work because I can't get my car out of the driveway, and your boss says, we'll catch a bus. Like there's no bus, okay? The main roads are cleared first, and it takes a while because we don't have that much snow clearing equipment. And then the secondary roads, and then, you know, the subdivisions, if you're in a subdivision or whatever. You see my good dog? That is my good dog. Just went pee in his little box over there because he sees I'm busy and I was not available to let him out the door. But I think he has to go poopy, so I gotta let him out. I'll be right back. Oh yeah, he did it. He had to go potty outside. So smart. It's the smartest doggy ever. Okay, so where was I? Let's see. Yeah, they clear the main roads first and then the secondary roads and then whatever roads are after that. Don't forget, the majority of our county roads are gravel, so they don't really even do anything with that. We're very hilly, right? So if you can't make it to work, you just don't go to work. Most places shut down. Everything's pretty much shut down. Here's how rural we are. I have my clients coming in from out of state, and you have to set up your utilities and stuff, right? Whenever you buy a house, you got to set up your electric, your gas, all that stuff. I have to remind my clients, don't call to set your stuff up between 12 and 1 because they're closed for lunch. Because people have to eat lunch. That's what we do here. We're rural America. Like, it's freaking awesome. The stress level is way low. Things close early. Most of the, you know, small local restaurants, not the chains, but the small local restaurants, the cafes and stuff, a lot of them, they close, they serve a late lunch and that's it. A lot of stuff isn't open on Sunday because we're in the Bible Belt and people believe that you should have a day with the Lord and a day with your family. A lot of things aren't open on Saturday because they're small businesses and they want to spend the weekend with their families. It's a very, very different lifestyle. And I get why you're stressed because you are where you are, and I was where you are, and I was freaking stressed out too. And I'm not admonishing you for that. Like, I totally get it. What I am doing though is trying to give you some hope and some encouragement that some of the things you're worrying about, you are worrying about for nothing. So take those off your list, and you're gonna be amazed at how freaking awesome it is whenever you get to wherever you're going that is outside of Babylon. Like, it's just gonna be freaking awesome. So be excited. Look forward to it. Okay, and the last thing that everybody pretty much asked me about is, does it matter which side of the border you're on? Does it matter if you're in Missouri or Arkansas? It really doesn't matter. I personally, whenever we first got here, we pretty much had made up our minds that we wanted to be on the Missouri side for a variety of reasons, which I've talked about in the past. We, you know, like some of their government officials, like Hawley, we like that they're very, very strong on the Second Amendment. You know, they have castle defense and stand your ground, and, you know, you can open carry and just a whole bunch of really good things. We like certain counties because there are homesteader and homeschooler friendly. And even though we don't homeschool, we just feel like the more freedom a county is willing to give you, the better. But it's very, very similar in Arkansas. Very, very similar. We have kind of a not so great governor right now, but we've got an election coming up. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is running. There's a couple of other good candidates. I think it's going to change. And yeah, it really doesn't matter. Couple of more things. Folks have asked me a lot about taxes. I can tell you that overall, the cost of living here compared to what we were paying in Vegas, I've said it many times, it's about half of what we were paying. Taxes here are super low. Taxes, you have your normal state tax, but sales tax and property tax are county dependent. So they vary from county to county. And that's both Arkansas and Missouri. How the taxes are collected, how much you pay, how they're assessed, all of that varies county to county. It's still very cheap. So like my folks, they've got like a 1,600 square foot, all brick house, very nice corner lot. I think their taxes are like $350 a year because they're seniors, and in Baxter County, seniors have a homesteading credit. And also some of the counties have credits for if you're disabled. We had a friend who was a disabled vet, and he paid 0 property taxes, and he was on 3 acres out in the country. So overall, the cost of living is amazingly affordable. Vehicle registration is another one. To register my car in Vegas was freaking outrageous. It was like $250 a year, and it's $26 here. So just overall, your cost of living is going to be substantially lower. I have people saying things like, well, here I make $20 an hour. There it looks like for the same kind of job, I'm only going to be able to make 12 to 15. And that might be true, but your cost of living is going to be so much lower. You're probably still going to have a higher quality of life. So that's it. Those are some of the things I wanted to cover for today. I will continue to share things with y'all as they come up, because I think, for every one person who asks me a question, there's probably 2 or 3 more who have the same question but just haven't asked. So I just want to do my very best to disseminate information to y'all. And if you do have questions, you can always email me at ozarkprepsteaders@gmail.com, or you can leave in the comments. If y'all read the comments, if you're a comment reader, you will see that I am very quick about responding. I have an app on my phone and I get notifications, and if at all possible, I try and respond right away. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I do miss one and I'll end up coming back to it, but for the most part, I do try and respond as quick as I can. So I'm happy to answer your questions. I get that it's a big deal, that moving is a big deal, that uprooting your life and changing things 180 is a big deal. And I can only speak for myself and the clients that I have helped relocate here so far, and let you know that all of us are so freaking happy that we did it. Randy and I don't have any regrets, and none of the clients that I have helped to relocate here so far. I check in with everybody. I try and check in weekly. Sometimes it's a little bit more. Sometimes it's, every other week, but try and stay on top of everybody. And so far, everybody is super happy here with very few complaints. And I guess that's how it is whenever God calls you and you listen. All right, so I'm out. My man is coming home. We're gonna go do some Friday evening things. Gotta take this little monster dog of ours to the puppy store and get him some more chew things. He's teething, like big time. Gotta go get him some chew toys. All right, I'm out, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one.